When someone is expecting a visitor, the expectation is on the visitor, and the activities of the visit usually revolve around the visitor. It's the same in Luke 7:11 through 17, Jesus raising the widow's son to life. The story, in all that transpires, is incidental compared with the real purpose of the passage. That purpose is to show the glory of Christ. Jesus Christ is the visitor, and everything is orchestrated around him being glorified. There are 4 aspects to consider. The first is that there is a great need. Because this woman is a widow, we can assume that she had been through this sorrow before, perhaps very recently. Now the one in whom she may have put a certain amount of earthly hope after the death of her husband was being buried. Her grief was very heavy. The second aspect to consider is the great compassion. Jesus simply said to her, "Weep not." We see here in Jesus the compassion of the full Godhead. Christ is about to do compassion, not just to feel compassion. The third aspect to consider is the great power. Jesus did the unthinkable by reaching out to the bier which held the dead boy. He then spoke directly to the dead boy and told him to arise. Immediately the boy rose and began speaking and was brought to his mother. The fourth aspect to consider is the great awe. The response of the people is not one of exuberating, but absolute amazement. They had great fear just to be in the presence of such compassion and power. Their reaction was to spread the story to all who would listen. We too all have a great need, a spiritual need. Jesus will not only feel compassion, he will do compassion if we cry out to him. The resurrection from spiritual death to spiritual life is more of a miracle than from physical death to physical life. Shouldn't we too, if we have been raised to spiritual life, fear God and open our mouth with the good news of Jesus Christ?